Hey, y'all, it's Rick here with Uncommon Communion. Glad you are joining me on Taco Tuesday. As we all know, that taco no longer is just the yummy, crispy, or soft, what do you prefer? Little, meat and vegetable sandwich. Rather, we know it is Trump, always chickens out. So happy Taco Tuesday. It's actually also Whole Heart Tuesday. And if you are not a regular viewer of this and you don't know what Whole Heart Tuesday is about, stick with me. I'm going to explain. And I'm going to do something here in this reflection today related to that. But let's begin, as we always begin, by recognizing, realizing, celebrating, and affirming that we are always and everywhere in the holy presence of God and each other. Whole Heart Tuesday is a little gathering that some folks, including the priest from the Episcopal Church where I worship, we gather at a little coffee shop called the Family Room, cool little place, and we just talk. And earlier, a few months ago, we were using chapters from a book, and it was this wonderful book. I'm forgetting the author's name. I should have looked it up, but it's a wonderful little book. Since then, we decided we're going to do a different angle and talk about each time a four-letter word. Now, we're living in a time where lots of us perhaps want to say four-letter words of various kinds, but that's not what this is about necessarily. Sometimes those do come up, but we bring up a four-letter word and then we have a conversation kind of talking about, what does it bring out in us? Usually somebody has a poem or another reading that, focuses on the word. So before I head out for this gathering, and I'm going to be leaving here in a few minutes, I want to share with you five four-letter words that I think are relevant to today, where we are right now. So I'm not going to give them to you all at once, although you did see four of the five in the heading. I'm going to put those up in the heading of this. But so there may not be a surprise, but let's start. And I'm going to hold the fifth one till the end. The first one is push, right? And I think we are in a time of all kinds of pushing. And the thing that is continuing to dominate the news cycle is the Jeffrey Epstein cover up. And I think we have to call it a cover up because that's what's going on here, y'all. It is a cover up. The president of the United States is covering something up. Now, as I promised before, anytime we talk about the Epstein scandal, we have to remember the girls that he and other powerful men apparently, allegedly, almost certainly had sex with, raped, because that's what that is called. So we need to always affirm that and always remember that. And when we talk about justice coming in this, it is not about bringing down powerful figures. That may well happen. I think it is going to happen eventually. It is about justice for these girls, then who are now women, many of whom are struggling and many of whom have had their lives ruined by this evil man and his conspiracy, his people, the Johns that he was bringing these girls to, trafficking these girls to. So we always have to keep that in mind. But the push is coming from two different directions. One is that finally, MAGA people are waking up to who Donald Trump is, what he stands for, and they are doing a lot of pushing to get the truth out there. They've always wanted the truth. Now they are really pushing. And in Congress, finally today, Congress did something. Yay, Congress. Well, and it was bipartisan. We had a Republican and a Democrat, with this signing this measure to bring the release of these files to the floor of the House of Representatives. It was going to pass. So what did Mike Johnson do? Yeah, carrying water for T-Rump. He just sent him home. So Congress now who has not done any of their jobs. Now they're literally on break early, right? I mean, it's insane. But even before that happened, what was also happened, what it did happen is the Judiciary Committee of the House of Representatives voted to bring in Ghislaine Maxwell, to subpoena her, to bring her in to testify to them. Now, I don't know when that could happen or what the status is. Obviously, that's not advancing because Congress is home, y'all. Guess how long? Till September. They get the whole month of October off. Wow, what a job, right? But that's where Congress is. So there is a push there. We need to keep pushing there. Our representatives, whoever they are, call them, push them to release these files. This is a matter of absolute importance, absolute justice. So, second word that I want to bring up is fool. Fool, Fool. We're dealing with fools here, y'all, and they think they can fool us. So what is T-Rump doing in all of this? He is just distracting left and right, and he is going off his rocker bonkers, right? So we just continue to see this. What are all the things he's been doing to try to distract us? Rosie O'Donnell losing citizenship, where he's talking about the Indians and the Guardian and the Washington football team need to give back their names, right? Release files. Yes, he's releasing files, MLK files, who his family, Dr. King's family said, no, we don't want these. This is it's not what we want, right? The fool part comes in with his cabinet members. Now we know he has a terrible human beings and really, really unqualified and dangerous people. And one of the ones we haven't heard so much about is Tulsi Gabbard. Yeah, look her up, y'all. There is all kinds of issues with her. She is known to be an apologist for Russia. Yeah. So what does she do to try to distract everybody, to try to fool everybody? Is this whole Obama thing, right? That Obama did this Russian thing, and now they're making these AI videos to try to fool people that Obama's. It's insane. It is insane. The thing is we can't be fools to fall for it. We cannot be distracted. We can maybe comment on it. We can maybe point our fingers at it, but we must keep pushing, which is the Epstein files. Now, I want to talk about a couple other words that are not going to be political words. They're going to be words I encountered today and words that are very close to the spirituality that is at the heart of my life and also at the heart of this communion, this uncommon communion, this community here. And the words are look and hear. Look, hear. And they are a quote that I came across. Again, this is from the Jesuit Book of Days. I have put that into the chat numerous times, so I probably won't get around to doing that today, because I am going to have to get out the door here pretty soon, y'all. Here's what Karl Rahner, Jesuit father from the mid last century, says. He says and he's a little bit heady, he's a theologian. So he says this: in the last analysis, there is nothing that cannot be integrated into the service of God in some way. And one can say without hesitation, God grows in humans to the degree that their relationship to things is a more positive one, and vice versa. This point must be emphasized because humans are always tempted to consider earthly things meaningless and of little value. For our relationship to God, the other things are absolutely necessary, and they are the place of our service and worship. Now, Rahner is talking about something that maybe isn't as big of a problem today as it was when he was writing this, 75 or so years ago. Today, many of us, probably our whole culture in late stage capitalism, it's all about the things. It's all about prioritizing those. And if anything, the spiritual, the non-material gets lost. But what he is saying is a good reminder that the way that we recognize and experience the more is by looking and listening and smelling and tasting and touching all of our senses. Where are we going to do this? Here, right here and now, on the earth that we walk as planetary pilgrims, as fellow earthlings. And that is where we encounter God. And if we are not doing that, if somehow we are thinking only about heaven, that this is a throwaway place, you'll hear some fundamentalists talk that way, then we are missing the point, and we are missing God. So what is a great command? What is a great thing to do is look here and discover, realize, recognize that God is here. The more is now. Yeah, it's that simple, y'all. It is that simple. I want to close with one last 4-letter word, and that is done. I'm going to be done here in a minute. Like I said, I got to get out the door. But the question is, when will we be done with this moment of that other 4-letter word, MAGA, right? And the answer is, well, 79 years old Donald Trump, someday, maybe not long from now, he will not be physically with us. But this cult may live on. And they're already jockeying to see who's going to take over. And the mindset and the thinking and the racism and the white supremacy, all of that stuff isn't going to go away when Trump passes into the next, passes into death. It's not going to go away. But we here and now can, through pushing, through not being fools and falling for it, by looking here, we can bring this time to be done as we look to see one more word. I didn't even write this down. It's just coming to me. Look to see next. What is next? Well, I know my next thing is to mosey on out the door. Let's say the Serenity Prayer together if we can. I like the we version. God grant us the serenity to accept the things we cannot change, the courage to change the things that we can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Thy will, not ours, be done. Thanks, y'all, for listening. Blessing and good. Be well.